Also joining us live in studio, Simon, you love your boxing, so does Martin, so do I. Lawrence Okolie has joined us, two-weight world champion. He did it, of course, at cruiserweight, did it at bridgerweight, and now it's all about heavyweight. And at the weekend there, it was a perfect start for Lawrence at heavyweight level with a first-round win over Hussein Mohammed, Wembley's OVO Arena, live on talkSPORT. A first-round win. Lawrence, good morning and congratulations.
Thank you, good morning.
Did you think you were going to be doing such a job in this fella in such spectacular fashion before the fight?
I always hope, to get a knockout, and the quicker it comes, the better. Like as they say, you don't get paid for overtime, so I was just happy to get it done.
Yeah, so a bit of relief.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like at this stage, every fight's high pressure. It doesn't matter who you're in there with. You have to go in and win, and have to win in style. I think with the way my career's kind of gone, obviously I've had success and stuff like that, but I'm at that stage where I need to go out and put on big performances every time, so I was happy to do it.
Right, so this was one. This was a statement win in your eyes.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, anytime you get a first round KO, it means something. That's two on the trot that I've got first round KO, so hopefully we keep it going.
Not bad, is it, Simon? There was pressure on this fella to do it at the weekend and do it in style, and he did.
I mean, in his own mind, it must be as much pressure because ultimately he's looking down the barrel of opportunity and knowing that the heavyweight division is where he's decided to be. It's interesting to see how big he was, because it makes you wonder how he boiled yourself down to cruiserweight. If you're at 260 pounds going into a fight of in a heavyweight division, how challenging it must have been for him at cruiserweight to have gotten to that level. But now he's got an opportunity, isn't he? Because everyone knows that heavyweights get paid more money. So the commercial opportunities are there for him. And we're going to see if we're going to see the best version of Lawrence, because he's endured some criticism, some of it justified, some of it unjustified. And he now arrives in a division where people think that structurally it's probably the right place for him to be.
Yeah. And
it'll be interesting to see how Frank guides him, because Frank Warren does not put heavyweights inside his camp that he doesn't think are capable of being meaningful.
Simon's right, Lawrence. You have endured some criticism, some justified, some unjustified. What was the unjustified criticism, did you feel? What was unfair?
I can't think now. Do you know what I mean? I think you as you get to a certain point where you just kind of just leave criticism to one side and just focus on what you can do in the ring. So I don't really think about it too much. But obviously I understand the justified ones because I'm there living it myself and watching my fights back. But as I said, overall, I've had
he wasn't celebrated enough as a world champion.
Yeah,
he was a world champion. That's what you should be. Whether people like some of the styles of some of the fights and some of them weren't great, Lawrence won legitimately a world title and should be valued a little bit more than perhaps at times he was. That's where I think the criticism moved from being fair to being disproportionately unbalanced at times.
Did you feel that, Lawrence? I mean, hang on, I'm a world champion. Did you feel that I'm not getting the recognition?
I mean, yes, to a certain extent. Now that it's been said, I was like, that's probably true. But yeah, I think there's more. I just keep thinking there's more to come. So I do think in this chapter, when I'm able to get another world title, I think that recognition will come.
What now? Who's next? What are you hearing?
Well, yeah, what I'm hearing, obviously, I think with this win, with the stable that they've got at Queensbury and the way that he's manoeuvring people, it's just they're pushing towards trying to get me a world title opportunity as soon as possible in 2025. So that's what I'm looking for.
Already? A world title opportunity already? Would you be ready for that?
Yeah, I believe so. I think, obviously I've been a world champion for a number of years, and that's the kind of level that I want to operate at no matter what weight class I'm in. And as, from when I was in, before I even qualified for the Olympics, I've been in there with all of the best heavyweights, albeit sparring. It's like, if you talk Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Dan Dubois, George, like all of that, and I'm talking hundreds of rounds because they're the ones that are more competitive in sparring than cruiserweights at the time. So I've been in and around the heavyweight scene for a while, and it's there's not much of a difference other than size in terms of skill. So I'm ready to start kind of.
Who's the best you've been in with? Sorry, Mark.
Yeah,
of all the guys you've sparred, who's the best you've been in with?
Funny enough, I still need to wonder if it's because I was making cruise or not. But there's a young guy up and coming called Moses Atama.
Oh yeah.
That I remember sparring him when he was 15, 16, and I was preparing for a world title shot. And like, I can't tell you what it was about him. I can in a little, but it was just he was so fast and explosive, and then he was also very skillful. And to be fair, that's probably the hardest spars that I had. Full stop.
And this was when he was 15 or 16?
It was when he was 15 and 16, and I was 27, so I was literally geared up in the best shape, ready for this world title shot. And then this boy's coming in his school uniform, taking off of his little tie and his blazer, and coming to give great work. So yeah, I thought like that's why I'm really rooting for him, because I want to see someone who has that talent actually go and accomplish great things. So
What, Lawrence? You're coming up from a weight. So give us an idea of how it feels. You've been a lighter boxer. Now you're coming against the heavyweights. Is there a sharpness that you think you've got that they've not got? Because you've got Usyk now, who's tearing it up, isn't he? He's beating a Fury and against all the odds. Yeah. What does a smaller man with quicker hands bring to the table? Although you're 6'5", haven't you? Just about get onto that doorway when you came through here.
I think as you said, it is like reaction time, and also like you're so used to seeing punches coming quicker and having to. I think mainly reaction, so you can get to a punch quicker and get out of the way quicker than
which is how you knocked out your opponent at the weekend. With
exactly. So for example, in that one, they think that they're in range when they're not, so they'll commit to the second shot. Where cruiserweights kind of understood, I'll do one, or I'll smart. Like it's a bit different. Where with most heavyweights, they've got a very methodical rhythm where it's like one step, like, and all the shots are way more powerful, but they're fewer and further between.
Yeah.
So you've got to get out of the way.
You're 31, mate.
Yeah.
Time's getting on. Daniel Dubois on this very show with Simon and myself said the other day, right, I've seen off Joshua. I mean, that in itself was a major achievement. Next up, Joseph Parker.
Yeah.
Next up, after that, that's the kind of vocabulary you want to be using soon, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Seen him off, I want him, and then him.
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing I was aiming to do at cruiserweight, while I could make that weight. Throughout my whole career, it's obviously documented, I always went for the hardest quote-unquote fight I could at that level. So whether it's Commonwealth, whether it's European, whether it's World. So now I'm here, they know in terms of Frank Warren and that, when we were doing all of our negotiations and what fights, and it's like, they said Zhang in China. I said, that sounds like a great fight. So I feel, for me, I enjoy boxing and enjoy actually being in quote-unquote hard fights and fights where people are going to, go on. Sorry.
When you were boxing, though, so I've had a look at the bite at the weekend. Now, you look really big.
Yeah.
You look way bigger. When is it comfortable? When do you stop? You know what I mean?
Stop what?
When do you stop getting bigger? Do you say to yourself, right, okay, I'm a couple of stone heavier now. That's enough. That's my working weight. That's where I can really be. Because we see Tyson Fury up and down with his weight, don't he? He's now he's a muscle man now.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just finding the right balance. I think this was a short camp, so I focused on getting in condition as opposed to like leaning up. It was more so like, can I do the 10 rounds with, in the training and whatever. Where going forwards, obviously, I do want to lean up a bit, because if I'm fighting a Zhang or a Caballero or like one of these, top heavyweights, there's certain stuff I won't be able to get away with, like having extra body fat. It's like, so you need to be able to, I'd have to be moving a little bit more direct with my sort of approach. So I probably need to be maybe like, 240 as opposed to 260.
Joe is going to be very important for you, isn't he?
So 100%.
Joe's going to be very important for you.
100%.
Joe Gallagher.
He's on me. He's on it. Do you know what I mean? And he got it. So for example, with this camp, he was just like, don't worry about the weight. Just come in, make sure you're smashing out all of these rounds. We were doing like 30, 40 rounds a week, just every week for the largest.
Wow.
And with big guys, obviously I'm big, but we had 6-7 guys, 206, just constantly putting me under the
Lawrence, you
fire.
well and truly put yourself in the mix, mate, with that phenomenal performance at the weekend. Congratulations on that. On the 21st of this month, Fury Usyk again. Who wins it?
I feel like Fury's going to win this time. I keep, it's tough for me because Usyk is. I watched him when I was coming up as a cruiserweight, become undisputed, beat great world champions, come up to heavyweight, beat Dan, beat AJ twice, so hard to say I bet against him. But their fight was so close the first time, and I felt like Tyson Fury kind of maybe approached it a bit too like, I'm gonna show you that I'm the best boxer in the world, as opposed to like, I'm 6'9", I'm gonna put in some damage and stuff. So I think if he approached it with a bit more focus, he's got a bit like, okay, last thing I'm gonna say, I think Usyk's always an A always an A. Every single fight is an A. I think that Tyson Fury has the ability to be an A+ on a day where if he gets it right and is an A+, he's going to win the fight. If he's not, Usyk's going to win.
Oh, Lawrence, brilliant. You won at the weekend, and that's
Yes.
what we're happy about this morning. Well
too.
done, you. The perfect start for Lawrence at heavyweight level with a first-round win over Hussein Mohammed at Wembley's Oval Arena. And it was live in talkSPORT. We heard it all. We loved it all. Lawrence Okolie with us live this morning on talkSPORT.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.